Hey guys, Ben here for ScreenHogUK's 30 minutes with Assassin's Creed 3. Now, I'm in the process of playing through this, but it's taken me a bit longer than I would have liked to get through it. I'm currently on sequence 9, so if you're not wanting anything to be spoiled for you, I would suggest you come back later after you've played the game, or, of course, you could always just not bother altogether. Anyway, yeah, I've been playing through Assassin's Creed 3. Obviously, while it's Assassin's Creed 3, it's actually the fifth entry into the game, because we had Assassin's Creed 1 set in the Crusades, and then we had three additions to the Assassin's Creed 2 period, which was Renaissance Italy. So this is like the first one in a good few years that is actually got a brand new setting, and this one's set during the time of the American Revolution, and you play the role of Connor, who is a half English, half Native American assassin, I suppose, who is basically he's taken upon himself to join the assassins to take down the Templar force that's appeared in the new world, in order to save his village. Really, he feels a lot. He doesn't really want. He's got no real connection to the assassins as such, but the Templars themselves threaten his native village, and so he's just trying to save them. So yeah, I mean, generally I like Assassin's Creed games. I've played all of them, and the only one I haven't finished, apart from this one, obviously, is Revelations. Revelations was a bit of a maybe a bit of a cash in. I always thought it didn't really add a whole lot, and it was a bit tedious. I personally thought, you might have liked it, but I was kind of glad to see when Assassin's Creed 3 was announced, because it's moving the series on. It's something a bit different, and for the most part, I love the new setting. As I say, it's set in the American Revolution, so it's far more modern than the other ones. And as you can probably see, the biggest change is that there's a wilderness, and you can free run through the trees. And ironically, it takes a bit of getting used to, but once you nail it, the free running through the trees is actually possibly better than the free running on the buildings in this game. It's a lot of fun. It's very fluid, very natural. As you can see, I'm getting around very quickly. And it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot to do in the wilderness. I don't know if you've seen, but there's animals kicking about. It's hard to tell in this snowstorm actually, but you can go hunting. There's a lot of dangerous animals such as bears and wolves that attack you, and there's just a lot to do. There's frontiersmen who can give you missions and all the rest of it. The wilderness is very much a part of the game. It's kind of like the third city, because you also have Boston and New York to explore, and the wilderness isn't just an area kind of in between. It's very much like the third city. Ah, there's a frontiersman. You know what? I've not really had a lot to do with these guys, so let's go and see what he has to say for himself.
There we was, 8 months in the Kentucky frontier, trapping and skinning elk. Well along my third bale when they came upon us. No less than a dozen Shawnee hunters had us surrounded at the point of musket and arrow. My bush partner froze up stiff. The fear chilled me the same, but I managed to muster what little Shawnee I was knowing.
Okay.
The leader spoke too
I'm not sure if
quick,
these guys actually give you missions, or they just tell you stories.
Their musket barrels stared us down.
It's been very descriptive.
Their arrows smiling sharp at our backs.
Just to let you guys know as well, I can't hear this. That's why I've got the subtitles turned on. I'm kind of I can't record myself talking at the same time, so I might miss a few details out.
Leader nods to his boys.
Hopefully not. I'm trying to pay attention.
The honcho stays a spell longer, just staring right through us with his two black eyes. And then he was gone.
I hope he's going somewhere with this, because
he's the way we came.
I don't know where, is he? It's all very well, being kind of regaled with tales around the campfire, but it doesn't make for compelling viewing.
I could feel their eyes on our backs, clear to North Carolina.
Oh, right, okay. Look for clues. So I've just got an eagle vision. For anyone who's familiar with the series, this is kind of like the Assassin's special sense as such. It lets you see things that mere men can't see. Although it doesn't seem to be helping me here. You know what? I have no clue what the hell's going on here. Let's just continue on. Ah. Now, there's a feather just appeared on my hood there. Is that something? There it is. There we go. Oh, right, so that was the challenge, was it? Right, okay. Fair enough. One thing you might notice is because we're in a new setting, there's a lot of new weapons for Connor to use. He doesn't come equipped with a sword like Ezio and Altair before him. In fact, he comes with probably the most radically different armory that we've seen in an Assassin's Creed game. His main kind of combat weapon, I suppose, is a tomahawk, which you can see slung there, and he also uses a knife in his offhand. The tomahawk is pretty cool. I don't know if you noticed, but the actual blade, it's hard to say that the blade is shaped in the A shape of the assassin logo. Ah, right, okay. So we're still on the trail apparently, but there's an eagle there. Ah. Wolves will attack you fairly ruthlessly. When they do, you tend to have to do a little bit of a quick time event, like that. There we go. And if you fuck it up, they take a bit of a chunk of your health. If you nail it, you kill them instantly like that. One thing you can do, as I said, you can hunt. You can actually skin animals, like I'm doing here. Says a little prayer, and then slashes the motherfuckers up. There's a trading system and a crafting system here. It is awfully convoluted. But you can use the kind of materials you gather to do the trade system, and you kind of you kind of have a base of operations in this game, which is your homestead. And as you go through the game, you can kind of upgrade it. It's kind of taken the place of buying properties, which you could do in the previous one, where you could buy properties in the city up. Oh, there we go. Now you see, this is also there we go. It's a viewpoint, so if anyone's familiar as well, you get to these viewpoints, you synchronize with them. It does a bit of panoramic, shows you the scenery, although it's hard to see in the snowstorm, and then you unlock the map for this area. Now there should be a bale of hay or leaves, and there it is, and then you can jump off and phew, as normal. You know, this is typical Assassin's Creed, and to be honest, as much as I'm very conflicted with this game, if I'm being completely honest. On the one hand, I like Assassin's Creed. I think it's really good, and when it all falls into place, it's a marvelous game. But this one in particular is an exercise in utter frustration. The missions are often incredibly rigid in their criteria. Especially when it comes to stealth, which is very frustrating because I don't know when it became a stealth game, but Assassin's Creed in my mind is not a stealth game. It is an action game where you have the option to sneak about the city in kind of subtle ways, hiding in plain sight. Now, my memories of the first game were that you never had to sneak if you didn't want to. You could go in with a sword drawn and just slash everybody up, and it never punished you for it. I don't even remember you getting punished all that much in Assassin's Creed 2. The fact that this stuff started to happen. Oh, what's this as well? Another clue. Stuff started to happen more in Brotherhood onwards, where you would fail a mission instantly if you were spotted. Ah, right. So this is part of the hunting mechanic. So you've got a little beaver there. Now I've got a bow, and if you use bows and arrows and hidden blades, it's a cleaner kill. And you get more materials from the creatures you kill them. Cool little beaver, but circle of life. So yeah, as I was saying, this game can be an exercise in frustration because some of the stealth requirements for this game are ridiculously strict. Like, you get spotted, it's over. And the thing is, the stealth is, it's not only not good, it's almost feels broken. Enemies appear near psychic. You've got no way to like hide effectively. It's a bit clumsy. You know, it's I don't know. I'm not really satisfied with the stealth mechanics at all in this game, which is a shame because if it was a bit more lenient. Oh, there's a deer. Now you see, I said you can't hide. If you hide in bushes and stuff, you automatically crouch. But there's no way to crouch automatically. So if you're standing out in the middle of nowhere, now I'm never going to catch this deer. I'm a terrible hunter, and I'm going to be worse for talking out. If you're wondering where the hell I'm going, I'm trying to make my way towards that exclamation mark on the map there. You can fast travel, but I kind of wanted to show some of the countryside off because it's a big feature of this game. One thing I will show off, your equipment. Oh, no, that's... Oh, sorry. Oh, well, it's not my equipment at all. This is my assassins. Like in the previous games, you can recruit assassins and send them on missions, call them in. At the moment, I can send them on assassinations and riots as well. Riots incite riots in cities and cause instability in them. And assassinations are contracts that level up your assassins and all the rest of it. So, at the moment, pretty much everything's under Templar control, so let's go down to Massachusetts because that's where I am currently. Oh, maybe not because there's a lot of Templar. Quebec is the easy one, to be honest. So there's my guy. I'm sending him. I've only got one. My understanding is that there are 6 people you can recruit in this game. It's not like Brotherhood or Revelations where you could just recruit randoms on the street. There are apparently set people in this game, and as I say, I have not found any of them. I'm not sure whether you get them as a part of the course on the story, or whether you've got to seek them out. But as I say, I haven't really found any other than the guy who introduces the whole system to you, this French guy. I will point out though, I have only just hit New York, so maybe you get them as you go. Maybe I'm not terribly far in this game. I'm not as far as I would have liked to be honest. So I've just sent him on a mission. And he's going to be unavailable for a certain amount of minutes. And when he's finished, it'll be success or failure, and I will get cash if he's successful. Right? Okay. On the map, you see some red dots there. Now, the map's in the bottom left-hand corner, and the red dots are obviously enemy soldiers that don't appreciate my presence. And if you just look next to the map, there's a little circle with an X in it, and basically that marks your notoriety. And when you're completely incognito, no one's really looking for anybody of your description. It will just have a kind of an assassin icon, a bloke in a hood. At the moment, I've got 1X, which means that guards won't be openly hostile, but they will be suspicious of me when I walk past. So I've got to be careful walking, especially in cities. I've got to be careful. 2 means they will instantly come to investigate in a hostile manner, and I believe 3 is just openly hostile, and that's the time when you've got to kind of get out of dodge. I was going to show you equipment, wasn't I? So yeah, you've got weapons on one side. I've got a hidden blade and the tomahawk. I definitely keep your tomahawk at hand. You've got a lot of equipment. So you've got a pistol. It's good for kind of like just kind of kills from a distance when they're not suspecting you. It's a matlock pistol. It takes an age to reload after every shot. The bow is a bow and arrow, very lethal, really good for hunting, very good for sneak attacks as well, quick and quiet. The rope dart is kind of like a knife on the end of a rope. You can throw it at people and lasso them to you, and if you're in like stalker mode, the stealth mode, and you're in a tree, you can kind of get the drop on people and use it to hang them from the tree. It's pretty cool. Smoke bombs allow you to kind of get away and cause distraction. Poison darts allow you to poison people. Trip mine, fairly self-explanatory gear, really. What's interesting though, you can set up snares for hunting. You can use that in conjunction with bait. You can horse whistle, and you can throw money like you could as well to cause crowds to form and cause distractions. So I am going to whistle my horse. I've never used this ability actually. Oh, there it is. Bloody hell. And no idea where it's going. I will say this, the horse riding, it leaves a lot to be desired. Red Dead Redemption, it ain't. You know what? I'm just wandering around the fucking middle of nowhere. So I said you could fast travel. Oh, fucking hell! The map's not all that intuitive. All right, so apparently the mission's actually in the frontier. Oh, raccoon there. As I see, you could hunt that and kill that if you so desire. There's a lot of animals running around. Actually, you've just got to look for them and be patient. And whether you really want to take a time out to do that, it's up to you. You know, it's there to do if you wish. So you know, this is the wilderness really. One thing, the towns are as impressive as ever. They feel very vibrant, very real. And the kind of new setting, the more modern setting is, oh for God's sake, I'm getting off this horse. The new modern setting is actually very nice. It's a nice change from kind of Renaissance Italy. Not the impressive buildings. Oh, right, we've got enemies ahead. So I'm gonna have to just be a bit careful. I'm gonna go round. Oh, it's like a kind of military camp. One thing I will say is that this game, at least up until now, has pretty much been fuck the British. Okay, because I don't think I've killed maybe 3 or 4 people that weren't redcoats or associated with the British Empire. I have been told, or at least Ubisoft, or Ubisoft as I believe they like to be called, Ubisoft have said that there are Templar enemies on both sides, but thus far I haven't come up against very many at all. So hopefully we'll get a decent mission. As you can see, this is the American camp. You're basically helping a lot of the Americans throughout this game. Oh, is that George Washington? As I say, there will be spoilers. I'm going to try a mission here, so you know,
Commander,
turn away now if you don't want to watch them.
Not yet.
I got to say that Assassin's Creed 3 graphically is a mixed bag at best. I think the faces look really, really good in the past. I think a lot of the kind of main characters look very, very nice. Costumes are all nicely detailed, and the faces look very, very good. But there's a lot of graphical glitches, a lot of weird glitches altogether, to be honest. The engine's very unstable, especially when even compared to other Assassin's Creed games. It's very unstable. I mean, there was a cutscene the last time I played on this where the characters were walking through the street, and there was a guard stood to like attention in the middle of the street, and people were walking through him constantly as if he wasn't there. It was very, very odd. I've seen branches not connected to trees properly. And the biggest kind of discrepancy is that, I like that, as I say, the faces are quite good in the past, but the sections in the future with Desmond and the kind of the regular cast are really substandard. I'm not sure if they were done by a different team or they just weren't given the same level of care because you weren't playing with them as much, but god damn, they are not good. It's not even a case of they're not like up to par, they're just not very good. Desmond's probably the best of the bunch. But god damn, like Danny Wallace's character and the kind of hacker girl, and even Desmond's father, who's a pretty new character. I don't know where he come from. I presume it happened in the end of Revelations, but god damn, they are not pretty. Jesus. Right, so as you can see, I'm being really slowed down by the snow, and I think this is kind of to encourage you to, you know, go up into the trees, which is something I'll try and do. Oh, and if I could play it worth a shit. So you've got to just kind of keep an eye out to see where where the paths lie. There's always paths, and it's very fluid. Very rarely does it kind of seize up on itself. Fucking hell, you know, sod's law. Very rarely does it seize up on itself. As you can see, it's very fluid. In fact, I mean, I said before that this is probably better than the city free running. I find that there's a lot of space. There's the wide streets of Boston. Don't make for very compelling free running, to be honest. Another thing that I think in this game is that a lot of the chases in previous games, Assassin's Creed's always had chase scenes, and in past titles they've always kind of encouraged you to take to the roofs to kind of head off your enemies. Here, a lot of it takes just place on the ground. It's not that it actively discourages you. It just there's not a lot to keep you going up. In fact, there's one shape I had to do before, which had a full synchronization objective of not running into anybody, not shoving anyone during the chase. Now, the only way you could really accomplish this is either you are psychic or you go to the roofs. But by the time I climbed to a roof, the guy had got away. I tried a few different variations to get it quicker, and he just kept getting away. So in the end, I just had to barrel through people and fail the synchronization. Another thing I'm seeing that's frustrating with... ooh.
Father. Connor, any last words? Wait. A poor choice.
Oh, sorry, I've just seized up because this is actually quite an interesting moment.
British brothers? Benjamin Church is no brother of mine. No more than the Redcoats or their idiot king. Oh, I expected naivete, but this... The Templars do not fight for the crown. We seek the same as you, boy. Freedom, justice, independence. But? But what? Johnson, Pitcairn, Hickey. They sought to steal land, to sack towns.
One thing you might pick up with this is that Connor is not... Connor's not as good as Ezio as a character. He's probably on par with Altair, but he's not Ezio. Ezio was charming as fuck. He had so much personality. You felt like a badass playing him. You know, you were this suave Italian playboy who just happened to be a master assassin and a complete badass. Connor, on the other hand, is just like a whiny little bitch, to be honest. He's constantly complaining about how he shouldn't kill people, and to be honest, his kind of outlook in terms of the story is very conflicting with the gameplay, because there's oftentimes you get to the end of a mission and you spare a target because of compassion or whatever, but the game seems to ignore the fact that you killed 60 redcoats to get to this guy or whatever. You know, you just murder people indiscriminately. It's a bit odd, disconcerting.
I can kill you now, if you prefer. Excellent. Shall we be off? Do you even know where
it's quite interesting. And one thing, I don't want to spoil anything, but the opening of this game is very interesting. At first, I was really wondering where it was going, but no, it's actually very good. In some way, Assassin's Creed almost has the pacing of a book, in the fact that it takes a long time to get going and it spans years and different places and all sorts. It's quite bold in that regard. I think Assassin's Creed 2 took the same approach. I always remember that taking a long time to get going, and this is not any different, to be honest. Whereas Assassin's Creed 2 took a while to set up the scene, this takes years of shit. So yeah, this takes years to actually get to actually playing as Connor. You don't start the game as Connor at all. So yeah, you'll spend a lot of time hiding in trees from redcoat regiments. Oh, for God's sake. Right, okay. So I thought I'd go for the guy with the kilt because they're pretty tough. Oh, now you see a bit of the combat here, and you'll see the tomahawk in action. So now you press B when they've got a red triangle on, it slows down, and you can either reverse them or chuck them to the side. Some of these enemies, these guys, can't be reversed and instantly killed. You've got to disarm them and then go through the kill like that. I'll just see if hit them. Oh well, that was about as effective as a chocolate fire guard. Yeah. As you can see, the tomahawk is badass. It's really brutal. The combat feels really good in this game. In fact, this is quite combat heavy compared to a lot of the games when it's not forcing you to be stealthy, and it feels really good for the most part. At least I think it does. It feels like typical Assassin's Creed though, in that it's not very hard. You never feel like you're in any danger whatsoever, to be honest. Which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Bit more of a cutscene.
Just my luck. Going to freeze to death if I don't get this fixed.
So I mean, like really, I'm going to try and I will get a review out for this. I don't know whether it'll even be relevant by the time I do, because Assassin's Creed games are long. I've got a lot of other stuff on. Oh, so we've got to catch this guy now. See, this is a typical chase scene. Let's see if it encourages me to go up into the trees, but it doesn't. You know, see, it doesn't look like it is at all. The redcoats don't give a shit apparently, and you just rugby tackle them. See that? I mean, that's the typical type of chase in this game.
Not wise to run.
But you won't.
Where is Benjamin Church?
I don't know. We was riding for a cup just now.
So yeah, as I say, I'm sorry, I'm going to get a proper review out for this
Maybe you'll find him there.
for this game, but it might not be relevant. But it's taken a long time to play it through. But I'm very conflicted. I'm enjoying it, and I will finish it because I'm compelled. But at the same time, there's a lot of problems here. One thing it does suffer from is this game's been in development by the kind of main Assassin's Creed team since Assassin's Creed 2 was released, and since then we've had Brotherhood and Revelations, which they didn't have a lot, but they polished and perfected and added little tweaks here and there. And because this was developed by the team that had nothing to do with those little tweaks, this game misses a lot of the kind of little things we've come to kind of think of as standard. I don't think the assassins, like the Brotherhood, you know, your minions, I don't think that's quite as effective in this game. You don't have things like the hook blade, although to be honest, I thought that was a bit overkill personally, but never mind. You're missing quite a lot of stuff.
It's a good haul today. Saw a bit of gunpowder in those crates. We'll get extra for that. Aye, Church will be pleased and we'll be rich.
So you see, another thing is this game seems to constantly punish you just for playing the game. It doesn't reward you so much as I find it very hard to ever synchronize this game by just playing. You know, it seems to really, it feels like it punishes you at least. You know, it never says, hey, good job. It's always like, you didn't do it properly. And which is frustrating because sometimes it's just the mechanics that aren't quite there that punish you rather than your fuck up. At least that's what I'm putting it down to. But yeah. As I say, this game's a mixed bag, and I'm going to wait till I finish it before I really make my mind up about it. But yeah. I mean, I don't know how well I've showed off the game, to be honest. I just dove into where I was. I've just recorded half an hour, and we're coming to a close now as well. So we'll probably just leave it there. Really, let's see it. I don't know how much I didn't want to show too much of story. We've only got one mission done. Well, we're not even one mission really. We kind of got to one mission, but yeah, I don't know how. As I say, it possibly would have been nice to show off the towns. Although I think you know what to expect of that in an Assassin's Creed game now. So I thought I'd show off the outdoors, bit of free running, bit of all the rest of it. So you can sleep. Okay then, that was pretty cool.
Thank you kindly.
So this is like, see, this is a stealth mission. Oh, all right, okay, yeah, well, okay, that's a good way to. I suppose that's a good way to end it. Me fucking up. See, I mean, maybe it's because I wasn't listening and I'm kind of not focused. Sorry, my phone just went off there as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing it does. This game really punches you constantly. I mean, it says kill 3 guards without being detected, and I just shot one and I failed. So that's a pretty typical example. Anyway, I hope you've kind of somewhat enjoyed this 30 minutes with Assassin's Creed 3. Stay tuned for the full review in the near future.